Hey, Fred Minnick here with another down and dirty iPhone review. As I have mentioned before, I am behind on my tastings, and so I'm just knocking these things out really quickly on my iPhone. No production, no frills, but I'm also going to be dropping a lot of these. So get ready for a lot to drop in the next few weeks. Or actually, yeah, next few weeks. So I'm getting caught up, and we will have a whiskey of the year list here pretty soon, and I'll announce my annual blind tasting soon enough. But today, before I get to what I'm tasting today, I'd like to make sure that you've gone to repealdayexpo.com and signed up to join me in Deggy World December 4th, and then here on the YouTube channel December 5th. It's going to be a celebration of the repeal of prohibition. You get some goodies, and it's just a good time. But so, all right, I'll see you on Repeal Day. And it makes sense that I'm tasting this right here. Now, I did a blind with Remus Repeal Reserve, the V series, or the 5th edition, if you will, of this Remus Repeal. It's 100 proof. This year's medley is it's got a composition of 2005 to 2008 bourbon in it. This is coming out of Indiana. In the description, you will see a release that talks some more about it. But I recently tasted this in a blind up against Eagle Rare 17-year-old, and it took second. It was a close second, but it took second. Still, I wanted to give it its own singular review. So here we go. Smells just like big old caramel bomb, a bunch of like nutmeg in there, hints of like hazelnut and almonds, roasted nut almonds. But really, it's smelling like it's going to shape up to a spectacular taste. Boy, just a beautiful bourbon. Just coats the palate like butter, just dripping down. I'm going back to that nutmeg note, because that nutmeg note is now kind of like a pumpkin pie. You get like that little edge of the pumpkin pie where all the spices kind of like form while it's in the oven. It's like when we make pumpkin pies, it seems like a lot of the good flavor pushes up to the end of the crust, and you get like this the smorgasbord of whatever spices you put in there. Cinnamon, nutmeg, crunching up right up against that little pie crust. So you have this beautiful like nutmeg and cinnamon right there, on top of a nice little piece of pie crust with some pumpkin there. It's just a beautiful bite, But there's also this overwhelming vanilla note. Like, I mean, big shock, a bourbon has vanilla in it. But this is a really pronounced like vanilla icing, almost like a vanilla icing that you would get on a Pop-Tart. So again, I'm talking about like something being connected to a crust, if you will. So the way when I'm tasting this, it's really reminding me of like an icing or some kind of pie filling or some kind of spice connected to a really nice, not too doughy, not too overcooked, just a perfect crust, whether that's a pie crust or whether it's like that Pop-Tart kind of crust. But either way, just a beautiful, beautiful note. And this is definitely a bottle that I could find myself sipping by the campfire with my best friend, all night. I mean, hell, my wife and I we could do some damage with this bottle right here. I tell you what, I love sipping bourbon with my wife. I always say sip with your friends. I sip with my best friend as much as I can. And this right here, definitely a winner. And you may just see it on my whiskey of the year list. Now, I didn't give you the finish. Let me give you that finish. That finish is good. I'm going to say it finishes with that overwhelming vanilla note, and finishes long, still on the palate. still tasting amazing. But that's going to do it for this quick tasting. Hey, learn more about this product, go in the description. Also, check out some of my books. You can go to Amazon or wherever. Just look for my name, Fred Minnick. You'll find Bourbon Curious, Whiskey Women, Bourbon, The Rise, Fall, Rebirth of American Whiskey, Rum Curious, Mead. And if you're lucky, you might even find my first 2 books that I wrote. If you know what those are, you're going back a long way. But appreciate you all tuning in. Make sure you get your tickets at Repeal Day Expo or go to fredminnick.com. Sign up for my free newsletter, and I will see you next time on this quick rapid fire tasting. Cheers, everybody.